The Young and the Restless spoilers. Claire's surprise hero goes up against Matt. Holden's life-saving redemption. The Young and the Restless YNR. Spoilers hint that Claire Newman's Haley Aaron. Surprise hero may go up against Matt Clark aka Mitch Bacall Roger Howarth. Could this lead to Holden Novak's Nathan Owens' life-saving redemption? In YNR's December 12th episode, flashbacks revealed that Holden decked Richard, Mike Falco aka Drunk Guy, to protect Audra Charles, Zuleika Silver, when he demanded his stolen money, but things took a terrible turn. Holden accidentally knocked Richard's head into the bar and caused his grim fate, so he's been keeping a fatal secret with Audra. Of course, Holden was just defending Audra when things got out of hand. This is reminiscent of when Nick Newman, Joshua Morrow, hit Ashland Locke, Robert Newman, to defend Victoria Newman, Amelia Heinley, and caused a fatal blow when Ashland fell into the fireplace. Likewise, Holden was just trying to be a good guy and protect Audra when it ended in catastrophe. Even so, Holden took a life and covered it up, so he could perhaps use a redemptive moment where he saves a life next. Claire is growing closer to Kyle Abbott, Michael Mueller, again, but that doesn't mean her feelings for Holden have totally turned off. Those feelings could come roaring back if Holden pulls off a heroic move. Now that Matt is ready to wreak more havoc, Claire could ultimately become a target since she's Noah Newman's, Lucas Adams' cousin, and Victor Newman's, Eric Braden granddaughter. Claire could get tangled up in Matt's effort to score leverage and get revenge on the Newman clan, but Holden's protective side may take over once again. It's easy to imagine some scenario where Holden fights to save Claire from Matt, especially since they have history. Holden used to work for Mitch at the Shadow Room and may have relied on him for help cleaning up the Richard situation. Matt may feel betrayed if Holden goes up against him now, so Holden could be putting his own life in jeopardy. Nevertheless, protecting Claire may be the most important thing to Holden now, so he'll surely do whatever it takes to keep her out of harm's way. Will Holden upstage Kyle a bit in the hero department? Could Holden still have a chance with Claire and reignite his part in the love triangle? The Young and the Restless spoilers say Holden may get updates on some alarming Claire news in the not-too-distant future, so stay tuned for all the Matt mayhem. Today's shocking news. Claire's surprise hero goes up against Matt. The battle for a Newman soul and Holden's life-saving redemption on The Young and the Restless. The quiet tension that has been simmering beneath the surface of Genoa City is about to erupt into a firestorm, shaking the very foundations of the Newman Empire and irrevocably altering the destinies of three key players: Claire Newman, the recently redeemed Black Sheep; Matt Clark, aka Mitch Bacall, the vengeful ghost from the past; and Holden Novak, the bartender carrying a fatal secret. The upcoming storylines on The Young and the Restless are promising a high-stakes, action-packed saga that will test loyalties, expose shocking truths, and culminate in a potential act of heroic redemption that could save a life and a soul. The looming menace, Matt Clark's return, and the Newman threat. The return of Matt Clark, Roger Howarth, operating under the ominous alias Mitch Bacall, has been the dark cloud gathering over the Newmans. For those who remember, Matt is a figure from Sharon Newman, Sharon Case, and Nick Newman's Joshua Morrow past, a name synonymous with obsession, danger, and psychological torment. His sudden reappearance, initially in Los Angeles and now creeping toward Genoa City, is no coincidence. He is a predator, and his new targets are deeply entwined with the Newman dynasty. Matt's initial maneuvers have been focused on leveraging his connection to Sienna, the owner of the Shadow Room, and exploiting the vulnerabilities of those around him to get a leg up on the powerful Newmans. But as the chess pieces move, his ultimate, chilling goal is becoming clear: revenge. The entire Newman family, from Victor on down, is on his hit list, and who better to use as bait and leverage than the newest, most vulnerable member of the family, Claire Newman, Haley Aaron? Claire, still reeling from the psychological trauma inflicted by her great-aunt Jordan, is desperately trying to forge a new, honest life. She's found tentative support in her family and a burgeoning connection with Kyle Abbott, Michael Mueller. However, her past ties to the Shadow Room, where she briefly worked, and her complicated connection to Holden Novak place her directly in Matt Clark's crosshairs. She is Victor's granddaughter and Noah's cousin, the perfect pawn in a ruthless game. The spoilers suggest that Matt is poised to escalate his reign of terror. He's not just interested in financial gain. He wants to inflict pain and chaos on the Newmans. The horrifying thought that the Mitch Bacall behind the Shadow Room is actually the monstrous Matt Clark will send a tidal wave of fear through Genoa City, especially for Sharon and Nick, who know exactly how far he is willing to go. Claire's dual attraction and the surprise hero. Claire's journey of redemption has been complicated by her magnetic attraction to two very different men, Kyle Abbott and Holden Novak, Nathan Owens. Kyle Abbott. Kyle represents the safe, established path. He's a part of a powerful, respectable family, and their alliance to take down Audra Charles, Zuleika Silver, has rekindled a spark. He offers her an anchor in Genoa City society, a familiar face amidst the chaos. Holden Novak. Holden is the dark, complicated allure. Their connection is raw, passionate, and, crucially, built on a foundation of shared secrets and working in the same shadowy world in Los Angeles. Recent spoilers reveal that despite her growing closeness to Kyle, her intense feelings for Holden are far from extinguished. In fact, they could be about to roar back to life with an astonishing display of heroism. The narrative is setting the stage for a classic soap opera love triangle, where one man proves his devotion through an act of supreme courage. As Matt Clark ramps up his mayhem and focuses his predatory gaze on Claire, a desperate situation will emerge, placing Claire in imminent, life-threatening danger. The title hints at a surprise hero, and while Kyle might be expected to step up, the money is on Holden Novak to make the decisive move. Why Holden? Because the writers are crafting a spectacular act of life-saving redemption for a character who desperately needs it. Holden's fatal secret and the path to redemption. Holden Novak is currently sitting on a devastating secret that threatens to destroy his life and drag Audra down with him. Flashbacks revealed the gruesome truth. In a misguided act of chivalry, Holden decked a man named Richard, who was demanding his stolen money back from Audra. The simple punch turned fatal when Richard hit his head on the bar and died. Holden, in a moment of panic and to protect Audra, covered up the crime. This accidental but fatal blow is the new weight on Holden's soul. He took a life, even if accidentally, and in defense of someone he cared about. The comparison to Nick Newman's fatal confrontation with Ashlyn Locke is striking. A good man making a catastrophic mistake with lethal consequences. Holden's redemption arc demands an equal and opposite action to save a life. The clash, the scene is set for a dramatic showdown. Matt Clark will corner Claire, using her as leverage against the Newmans. This moment of terror will trigger Holden's protective instinct, the very same instinct that led to his downfall with Richard. But this time, the stakes are different. He won't be protecting a petty thief. He'll be protecting Claire, a woman whose soul he feels tied to, from a truly malicious individual. Sacrifice. Holden will confront Matt, likely using his intimate knowledge of Mitch Bacall's LA operation, knowledge he may have gained when Matt helped him initially with the Richard cover-up. The betrayal will be palpable, and the confrontation will turn violent. Spoilers suggest that by going against Matt, Holden will be putting his own life in jeopardy, a perfect setup for a heroic sacrifice. Life saved, soul redeemed. Holden will prevail, saving Claire from Matt's clutches, perhaps even exposing Matt's identity as a consequence. In that moment of selfless, life-saving heroism, Holden will achieve the redemption he's been craving. The darkness of the Richard secret will be balanced by the light of saving Claire. This act of courage will undeniably upstage Kyle, who may be caught flat-footed or unable to reach Claire in time. Holden's dramatic intervention will be the ultimate display of his character, proving to Claire that despite his fatal flaw, his heart is truly good. It will reignite their complicated romance and forever tie them together by a life-or-death bond. The domino effect. Consequences across Genoa City. The Matt Clark Holden Claire storyline is the central shockwave, but its impact will ripple through the entire canvas of Genoa City, hitting the Newmans, the Abbotts, and the business world. The Newman family, united in crisis. Victor, for all his power, could not prevent Matt Clark from targeting his family. The danger to Claire will galvanize the Newmans. The conflict between Nick and Matt is already on the verge of turning dangerous, fueled by past animosity and Matt's twisted ties to the LA past and possibly Noah's car crash. Claire's rescue will be a bittersweet victory, reminding the Newman family that their wealth and power make them eternal targets. The vengeful alliance, Kyle and Claire. Claire and Kyle's alliance to take down Audra is a powder keg waiting to blow. Their plan is rooted in Claire's new vindictive streak, a sign that her reformation is fragile. Ironically, their investigation into Audra's past is how they may stumble deeper into the Matt Clark/Holden web, as Holden worked for Mitch Bacall, and Audra was complicit in the cover-up. Holden's heroic act will throw a massive wrench into Kyle's plans, both for Audra and for winning Claire back. How can Kyle compete with a man who risked his life to save her? Claire's heart will likely swing back to Holden, setting the stage for a fierce love rivalry between Kyle and the man who literally became her savior. Audra Charles, caught in the crossfire. Audra is desperately trying to hold onto her power, her secrets, and her relationship with Holden. She initially tried to keep Holden's fatal secret hidden, cementing a bond of complicity between them. Claire and Kyle's plot is designed to expose the truth about her LA history. If Matt Clark is exposed and Holden is forced to reveal his full involvement, including who helped him cover up Richard's death, Audra could lose everything. Her ruthless pursuit of power and her willingness to manipulate Holden will finally backfire, making her a casualty in the greater Newman-Matt Clark war. Conclusion: a story of light and shadow. The Young and the Restless is delivering a masterclass in high-stakes drama with this storyline. The shock of Matt Clark's return, the complexity of Claire's journey, and the weight of Holden's secret all converge on a single, pivotal moment. Holden Novak's life-saving redemption is not just about a woman. It's about reclaiming his own moral center. In the chaos created by a monstrous villain like Matt Clark, Holden will choose the path of light, proving to Claire and to himself that he is a man worthy of a second chance. This will forge an unbreakable, star-crossed love that will dominate Genoa City screens for months to come. Get ready for an explosive holiday season as the drama crescendos. The battle between Claire's past and her future is about to be fought, and her surprise hero is ready to pay the ultimate price to ensure her survival. YNR, spoilers Monday, December 15th, revenge emotion, setting boundaries, party plot twist. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Monday, December 15th, reveal some interesting moments in Genoa City as a new week starts. A revenge plan is unleashed, while two characters set boundaries, and there's a major plot. Victor Newman's revenge plan in motion. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Monday, December 15th, indicate that Victor Newman, Eric Braeden, will order Adam Newman, Mark Grossman, to put his revenge plan in motion. The two were targeting Jabot with the AI software program. However, as Jack Abbott, Peter Bergman, dismantled the company before the mustache could strike. So, will Victor be left shocked, or does he have a plan B up his sleeve? Abbott Communications, launch party, plot twist. Over at the GCAC, it sounds like the Abbott Communications launch party will be in full swing, which should please both Billy Abbott, Jason Thompson, and Sally Spectra, Courtney Hope, considering the party was canceled the last time they tried to do this. Still, added teasers imply there will be an unexpected turn. So what could this be about? If Jabot is dismantled and Victor can't get his hands on that organization, will he target Abbott Communications instead? Is that the plot twist that's ahead? This would be a shame since Billy and Sally have worked so hard and have endured so many obstacles to get to this point. Fanes set boundaries. In other news, the Young and the Restless spoilers for Monday note that Kane Ashby, Billy Flynn, and Phyllis Summers, Michelle Stafford, set boundaries. Despite their shouting match during the Friday, December 12th episode, the two ended the show with a passionate kiss. Now, Kane is taking Lily Winter's Crystal Khalil to the Abbott Communications launch party, and Phyllis is going too. So how awkward will their encounter get? Will they also be able to stay within the boundaries they set? YNR, spoilers Monday, December 15th, Revenge in Motion, Setting Boundaries, Party Plot Twist. The glitz, the glamour, and the guaranteed drama of Genoa City are set to explode on Monday, December 15th, as The Young and the Restless delivers a triple threat of shocking developments. A meticulously planned corporate event becomes the unsuspecting battleground for a fierce family feud. A volatile romantic entanglement hits a crucial turning point, and the master of manipulation unleashes a swift, brutal strike. Get ready for a high-engagement deep dive into the shocking news that will leave the entire town reeling. The Newman-Abbott feud, Revenge in Motion, and the party plot twist. The cornerstone of Monday's episode, and the epicenter of the chaos, is the lavish launch party for Abbott Communications, the new media company helmed by the unlikely but formidable duo, Billy Abbott and Sally Spectra. This night is meant to be their crowning moment, a declaration of independence from the shadow of Newman and Jabot, and a celebration of their collective vision. But in Genoa City, victory is a dish best served with a side of complete devastation, courtesy of the one and only Victor Newman. The mustache's masterstroke. Victor Newman has been seething over Jack Abbott's move to shut down Jabot's technological assets, a necessary precaution to stop Victor from weaponizing the controversial AI program against his rival's company. Jack thought he was one step ahead, but as always, Victor was already planning his countermove. The spoilers reveal that on Monday, Victor gives the order to his son, Adam Newman, to put their revenge plot into motion. This is the key moment. Jack believed he secured Jabot, but Victor is a strategic genius who rarely puts all his eggs in one basket. Instead of directly attacking Jabot's core, Victor shifts his focus to a new, highly visible target, Abbott Communications. The shocking plot twist, as Sally stands poised to give her triumphant launch speech, promising transparency and a commitment to truth in media, the entire room is plunged into corporate crisis. Notifications start buzzing on every phone. A massive manufactured scandal about Jabot is dropped, presumably through Newman Media at Victor's command. This isn't just an attack on Jabot, it's a direct, calculated humiliation of Billy and Sally's new venture on their biggest night. Jack and Diane's shock is palpable as they stare at their phones, reeling from the infuriating news that Victor has succeeded in his latest coup. The launch party, a symbol of hope and a fresh start, instantly crashes into a maelstrom of corporate damage control. Adam's betrayal and Chelsea's fury. The use of Newman Media and the direct order to Adam adds layers of personal devastation to the corporate attack. Adam is once again caught in Victor's destructive web, choosing to follow his father's orders to achieve a sense of belonging and power, even if it means hurting those he cares about, namely Billy and, perhaps more importantly, Chelsea Lawson. Chelsea, who has been trying to foster a healthier relationship with Adam, arrives at the party with him, completely unaware of the impending catastrophe he is about to unleash. When the scandal breaks and everyone realizes Adam played a part in Victor's revenge, Chelsea is blindsided. She will be left to confront Adam, frustrated and hurt that he chose Victor's approval and dark tactics over the positive path they were trying to forge. This decision by Adam is a devastating blow not just to Jack and Billy, but to his own personal progress, proving Victor still holds the ultimate control over his son's destiny. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, Victor will be toasting his successful strike with his consigliera, Michael Baldwin, basking in the glow of Jack's downfall. His cold, calculating victory ensures that the Newman-Abbott war has not only escalated but has drawn in new, innocent parties, Billy and Sally. The red zone, Kane, Phyllis, and Lily's boundary battle. Away from the blinding light of the corporate warfare, another explosive situation is reaching a fever pitch. The deeply complicated and undeniably steamy relationship or lack thereof, between Kane Ashby and Phyllis Summers. Their recent history, a mix of verbal sparring, undeniable chemistry, and a shocking, passionate kiss at Crimson Lights, has made their dynamic a ticking time bomb, setting boundaries or fueling the fire. The spoilers are clear. Kane and Phyllis need to set boundaries. This comes immediately after Kane is seen pulling away from a makeout session with Phyllis, insisting their interaction was a mistake and she is his enemy. Phyllis, ever the provocateur, countered with the classic soap opera line, "Sleeping with the enemy is a thing." On Monday, Kane's resolve will be severely tested. He is attending the launch party with Lily Winters, hoping to continue their fragile path toward reconciliation. For Kane, this night with Lily is a crucial step in proving his commitment to rebuilding their family. The last thing he needs is Red sabotaging his efforts. The tension rises. Kane tries to set a clear, firm boundary with Phyllis, likely insisting that what happened was a one-off and will never happen again. However, Phyllis, fueled by a jealous competitive streak and the sheer thrill of chaos, has other plans. She shows up at the party, roping her son Daniel, Romalotti Jr., and Tessa Porter into her entourage. The moment she spots Kane and Lily together, she prepares to make her move. Phyllis doesn't have to overtly confront them to cause damage. Her mere presence, the knowing glances she exchanges with Kane, and the palpable tension in the air will be enough. Lily, ever perceptive, will quickly pick up on the strained dynamic. If Phyllis mentions the recent kiss, even subtly, it could completely ruin Kane and Lily's night, causing Lily to retreat once more, fearful that Kane is still hopelessly entangled with the fiery Phyllis. True stakes of the encounter. This boundary setting is a high-stakes power play. If Kane fails to maintain his resolve, not only will his reconciliation with Lily be shattered, but he risks tumbling headfirst back into a toxic but exhilarating connection with Phyllis. His decision, whether he doubles down on his commitment to Lily or allows Phyllis to tear down his walls, will define his personal life for the foreseeable weeks. The presence of Daniel, who urges his mother to behave, adds a layer of family judgment, but everyone knows Phyllis lives to defy expectations, especially her son's. Fallout and future shockwaves. Monday's episode is not merely a collection of events. It is a seismic shift that sets the stage for a dramatic week in Genoa City. The shockwaves from Victor's attack and the fallout from Kane and Phyllis's failed boundaries will be immediate and severe. Billy and Sally scramble. For Billy and Sally, the stunning public crash of their launch party is a catastrophic blow. The very next day, spoilers promise they will be scrambling to do damage control. Their new venture, which was supposed to be a testament to their integrity and sharp business acumen, has been tainted by the stain of the Newman-Abbott feud. They will need to decide quickly whether to fight back or let Victor's narrative destroy them. This corporate crisis will either cement their partnership as they battle a common foe, or the stress could splinter their still-new relationship. The Abbotts counterattack. Jack and Diane will not take this humiliation lying down. Victor may celebrate a win on Tuesday, but Jack is already planning his counterattack for Wednesday. This revenge cycle is endless, and Victor's move only re-energizes Jack's determination to destroy him. A key element of Jack's retaliation will be holding Adam and Chelsea accountable for their roles in the attack, further fracturing the tenuous alliance between the two powerful families. The shaky alliance, Billy and Phyllis? Intriguingly, the spoilers hint that later in the week, Billy strikes a deal with Phyllis, given their shared history, their current animosity, and their roles at the party. This is a truly shocking development. Could Billy, desperate to save Abbott Communications, turn to the unpredictable Phyllis for information, a diversion, or even a dark scheme to fight fire with fire? This alliance alone has the power to disrupt multiple relationships, including Billy's with Sally and Phyllis's with just about everyone. Conclusion: a day of devastation and destiny. Monday, December 15th on The Young and the Restless is not an episode to be missed. It's a spectacular convergence of all the most volatile storylines. Revenge in motion, Victor's calculated strike through Adam transforms Billy and Sally's biggest night into their most humiliating defeat, proving that the mustache is always the ultimate winner. Setting boundaries. Kane's attempt to end his complicated affair with Phyllis crashes head-on with Phyllis's jealous, disruptive arrival at the party, threatening to derail his fragile reunion with Lily. Party plot twist. The Abbott Communications launch is utterly ruined by the news scandal, forcing Jack and Diane to deal with a corporate meltdown and leaving Billy and Sally in a state of shock and disbelief. The groundwork for a dramatic winter is laid bare. The Newman-Abbott war has escalated to a shocking new level, and the Kane-Phyllis-Lily triangle has reached a critical boiling point. The question now is, who will be able to recover from the devastation, and who will be consumed by the chaos? Shockwave hits Genoa City. Victor Newman's savage revenge plan unleashed. The air in Genoa City is thick with anticipation and dread. The mustache, the formidable Victor Newman, has finally made his long-teased move, and the resulting chaos is a masterclass in corporate espionage, media manipulation, and familial betrayal. This is not merely a business takeover. It's a calculated, savage strike designed to dismantle his enemies, chiefly Jack Abbott, and reassert his total dominance over the city's power structure. What was once a low-humming tension between Newman Enterprises and the Abbott family's jabot has exploded into a full-blown war, with the collateral damage extending to Billy Abbott, Sally Spectra, and even members of Victor's own bloodline. The sheer audacity and scope of this new scheme are truly shocking, confirming that even after a recent near-death experience, Victor Newman is back and more ruthless than ever. The initial strike, not the AI but the media blitz. For weeks, the central threat looming over Jabot was the stolen AI software, a technological Trojan horse Victor intended to use to cripple the company's systems. Jack Abbott and his family, alerted by Diane Jenkins and Kyle, took the drastic, preemptive step of shutting down Jabot's online operations to neutralize the cyber threat. They believed they had outmaneuvered the great Victor Newman. They were tragically mistaken. Today's shocking revelation is that Victor's true weapon was never the AI itself, but the perception of its successful use, amplified through Newman Media. The coup, instead of a digital attack on Jabot's servers, Victor, with the begrudging assistance of Adam Newman, greenlit a sophisticated media campaign. Leveraging Newman Media's extensive reach and the inherent instability caused by Jabot's voluntary shutdown, they published a series of scathing articles, financial analyses, and anonymous insider reports. The narrative they meticulously crafted was one of corporate collapse. The news blitz suggested Jabot's systems were not just shut down as a precaution, but that their assets had been compromised, depleted, and that the company was on the verge of going under. This massive, sustained negative press coverage has accomplished exactly what the AI was meant to do: destroy Jabot's value and market confidence. Victor's gloat. This Tuesday is expected to feature Victor celebrating a 102nd victory over Jack, a chilling testament to his psychological warfare. He will gloat not just for the win, but for the sheer brilliance of circumventing the Abbotts' defensive measures by attacking an entirely different flank. The family fallout, Adam and Nikki caught in the crossfire. Victor's revenge is never a clean corporate affair. It is deeply personal and always involves his family. This time, the schism runs deep, causing immense pain and moral conflict among the Newmans. Adam Newman's impossible position. Adam Newman, Victor's most morally ambiguous son, was forced to play a central role in this attack, using Newman Media to execute the smear campaign. Chelsea's confrontation. The most immediate and explosive fallout comes from Chelsea Lawson. She is furious at Adam for going rogue and prioritizing Victor's approval over his loyalty to Jack Abbott, who has been a true friend to Adam. Chelsea will corner Adam, blasting him for his betrayal, which is not just a business move, but a deep character flaw surfacing once again. Adam, for his part, defends his actions, claiming that crossing Victor when he is focused on Jack's downfall is simply not worth the risk, and perhaps he truly desires the rare, if conditional, peace he has found with his father. A tenuous alliance. The forced cooperation for this strike further complicates the relationship between Adam and Chelsea, leaving their partnership frayed and their future uncertain. Nikki's betrayal and the ultimate test of loyalty. Victor's greatest risk is the damage to his relationship with his wife, Nikki Newman. Nikki has always been Victor's moral compass, and this time he has not only acted against her wishes, but actively lied to her face. Eavesdrop truth. Nikki managed to eavesdrop on a critical conversation between Victor and Adam, confirming Victor's plot to unleash the AI or some other attack on Jabot. Her shock is palpable. Victor had dismissed her concerns, told her to stop worrying, all while planning a massive, destructive attack. The confrontation. The spoilers point to Nikki learning of Victor's latest coup against Jabot, leading to a fierce confrontation where she expresses her annoyance and anger. This is a critical point in their marriage. Jack, desperate to retaliate, will even attempt to interfere with Victor and Nikki's relationship, a desperate and high-stakes move that will only raise the temperature in their already volatile marriage. Diane's plea. In a shocking turn of events, Diane Jenkins will turn to Michael Baldwin, Victor's longtime legal fixer, for help in her fight against the mustache, hoping to find a sympathetic ear or a legal vulnerability in the ruthless tycoon scheme. Collateral damage. The Billy and Sally implosion. The timing of Victor's strike is devastating for Billy Abbott and Sally Spectra, who are launching their new company, Abbott Communications. Launch party chaos. The launch party, already complicated by prior sabotage by Kane Ashby, another new-old rival of Victor's, is now completely overshadowed by the news of Jabot's apparent collapse. Jabot is the parent company, and the perception of its financial failure casts an immediate, toxic shadow over Abbott Communications. Damage control. Billy and Sally are forced to scramble into damage control mode, spending their time and capital trying to salvage their company's image rather than celebrating its birth. The damage may be irreparable, forcing them to completely change their tactics and potentially leading to the company's early demise. Billy's desperate deal. This pressure forces Billy to strike a deal with Phyllis Summers, a highly questionable alliance given their history. The nature of this deal is murky, but it is clearly a desperate measure to secure Abbott Communications, further complicating the web of loyalties and betrayals. Jack's counterstrike and new alliances. Jack Abbott is the ultimate target, and though he managed to protect Jabot's systems, the media war has left him reeling. The initial setback is massive, but Jack is a formidable opponent and will not yield. The retaliation. Jack will immediately start planning his counterattack. This will involve holding Adam and Chelsea accountable for their roles in the media manipulation. A risky alliance. Perhaps the most surprising move is Kyle Abbott reaching out to his ex-wife, Summer Newman, in Italy. Kyle sends an urgent message, hinting that Summer, as Victor's granddaughter, could be a secret, powerful tool to use against her grandfather. This is a massive risk, potentially bringing Summer back into the Genoa city drama just as she found peace, and it puts her in an impossible position between her own family and her ex-husband's. The Audra problem. Further down the corporate chain, Claire Grace Newman and Kyle form a strategic alliance to take down the ambitious and often ruthless Audra Charles, who is attempting to align with Victor. This subplot adds another layer of intrigue, showing how Victor's war inspires new, internal power plays.